Alright, on to the second double lift, the strike double lift. Now I used to start out with this double lift until I switched to the other one in part 1, but this is a really good one. Don't get me wrong. Just the only downside is it just doesn't work all the time. But it's faster and it's really natural too. You just, flip over a card as you were to thumb it off. And that's pretty cool because you can actually mimic thumbing off the card when you do the double lift. So, alright, let's get into it. Basically, what the strike double lift is practicing picking up 2 cards automatically with your finger. And that's what it is. It's easier than it may sound, but you need to practice to perfect it. Obviously, I'm not great at it, but it's because I switched. But I did practice it for a while. And so, what you want to do first is just take your thumb, the muscle of your thumb, and just push over the deck, very slightly. And these, if you notice, these fingers extend a little bit to allow the deck to create a slant. So that's what you do, is you create a slant in the deck. So once you do that, you're going to use your pointer finger. You're going to use the edge. And because you slanted it, it's easier to pick up 2 cards. So you can see, I'm picking up 2 cards with the edge of my finger. And that's the hardest part of this double lift, is picking up 2 cards. And I can't teach you that, you just got to practice that. But you're going to pick up 2 cards like this. Sometimes what you can do is pick up 1, and then if you miss the second card, you can pick it up again. And if you notice, you can pick up the next card, and then if you just twist like that, you see they come together and they square up. So you're going to pick up 2 cards like this, and if you miss it, just pick up 1 card and twist. So now, once you have the double on your finger like this, your thumb is going to come right on top of it, and your middle finger just like this, just like in part 1 when your 2 fingers are here and your thumb is in the middle. So your thumb's coming on top. You can square it up here if you see that. You see, you go like this and you can square it with your pointer finger, and you're going to start to flip it over. Now, because it's slanted, sometimes you have a little gap right there. I don't see if you can see that, but see now right there, but sometimes it's very slight. And people won't notice that is because you're going to flip it over so fast. But, so you're going to pick up the 2 cards, put your thumb on top and your middle finger, flip it over end to end, and when you get here you can actually square the card like that, just very slightly, and you're going to up jog it once again a little bit, and you're going to do the same exact thing as in part 1. You're going to leave this thumb on the edge, push down on the card, and square so that you have a pinky break. And you can do whatever here, just like this. You can flip it back over. So it's pretty easy. It doesn't have as much steps as part 1, but you need to practice because you need to get those 2 cards every time. So a lot of people use this one, and it is very good double lift to learn. So once again, you slant the deck using the muscle of your thumb, and these fingers extend. You're going to pick it up, and I don't think I mentioned this, but you want to do it towards the bottom edge. If you do it towards the top edge, they can see that sometimes when you do this. So you're going to do it towards the bottom edge, pick up 2 cards, grip it like this, flip it over end to end with your thumb, leave it here, push down, and get your pinky break. And then now it's just flipping it back over and then doing whatever you need to do with it. And the strike double lift, that's it. So let's go into what not and what to do. So the strike double lift, as we learned, is just like this. And now the most common thing that I probably see is people get too anxious, I guess, And when they're trying to do it, they keep doing this and they can't get the second card, and then they're overreacting or something, and then, you know, the spectators start to notice something fishy is happening. And when this happens, all you have to do is just relax, talk to them, make something up, you know, just to get their attention again, and then do the double lift again. Because if you mess up and you're doing this live, it can be a little bit harder than just practicing in front of your mirror. But you need to practice in front of live people. That's probably the best practice. But when you're doing this, don't keep doing this and trying to get that second card. Or if you get 3 cards on accident, just drop it, talk to them, and then perform it again. Just like this. So, that's the number 1. Another one is the double splits up here. The double will split. And that really sucks. Because, you know, you don't want that to happen. But when that happens, you just want to keep going on. And you just want to explain to them how the trick goes. Try to keep their attention every time you do the double lift, so that even when it splits, they don't even notice. So, you know, it splits like this, and then you quickly square it up. Because when you do the double lift, when you're talking to them, as you're flipping over the card, you want to say, okay, so the top card. And right when you point at it is when they look at it, because they're going to be looking at you. And then once you say, okay, so the top card, they're going to look at it. And that's basically what, and that also pertains to part 1. I just didn't mention it in there. So yeah, there's one thing, and you don't want the double to split. And another thing, see if I can think of one. You know, people perform it too fast. Take your time. If you're not comfortable with it, just take your time. Just never do this. I advise you not to get a pinky break like this, and then do the double lift. That is just unnatural, and you should never do that. So, I mean, take your time when performing a double lift, and when you're flipping it back over, just as you were to flip it up. And see, I can't really think of anything else. That's basically all this strike double lift is. It's just whenever you mess up on it, it's because, you know, you need to get the perfect amount of cards without a pinky break, and it's kind of hard sometimes. So you just can't get over anxious and ruin the trick right there with just the double lift, and that's not even the heat of the magic trick. So yeah, that's the strike double lift. Thank you.